So first off, we log into the vCloud Fabric controller. So this gives us visibility to everything that is actually running here, the spine switches, the leaf switches, so a few analytics regarding the controller and the inventory as well. So you can see we do have two spine switches, four leaves. We don't have any virtual switches yet. We have no tenants, no logical segments, no endpoints that belong to it. Even the VPC routes are not present. So we drill down into the fabric operations to be able to have a graphical view of the interconnectivity of the leaves and the spines. So that is the hierarchy of them. That we can be able to also drill down into the individual switches themselves or the listing thereof. So all the roles are defined there, and we can also be able to see that in the logical view, we do not have any segments, we do not have any tenants. And actually, basically, the segments just means VLANs. We don't have any VLANs configured in here. So we'll hop over to the VMware environment to kind of have a drill down of actually what we have in that particular environment. So we have the VMs and the ESXi hosts that are listed there. So quickly hop on to the integration and be able to add that particular vCenter into vCloud Fabric. So here we need to name the tenant itself because it's going to become a tenant. So vCenter is going to become a tenant. We'll name it BCF vCenter. And then we provide the host name details as well as the username and password for vCenter. We're also able to define, the plugin access. Is it read only? Is it read and write? Meaning, can big switch write into vCenter, and can vCenter write into big switch? And then we allow for full automation because we want to be able to automatically learn the elements as they come online within vCenter. So once we do this, we have our configuration running, and it's trying to connect and authenticate at this point. It's already adopted the configs as we have selected. It's already aware that the vCenter is actually 6.7. So once we refresh, we can see it's fully authenticated, and it has been able to learn quite a few things about what is actually happening here. And we can be able to drill down into the tenant itself. Okay, so the tenant is BCF vCenter. And you'll quickly note that we now have two hosts that have been captured here. We have additional two virtual switches. We have also 5 endpoints, as well as the additional network that has been captured here. Again, a highlight of the vSphere version that is actually running, as well as the virtual hosts that are actually captured at this particular point. We can also drill down into the virtual switches themselves, capturing even the physical connections and the endpoints to the ESXi hosts, the two of them and the three virtual machines that are running therein. So I've gone ahead and added quite a number of hosts in this particular environment. um, and we can be able to see the VLAN 500, where you can be able to see that we've learned quite a number of things automatically. So we'll be able to see the listing of the groupings of the port groups that are actually available here. So we have three port groups, one port group for the ESXi host itself, one another grouping for two virtual machines, and then the last one handling the Web3, which is VLAN 500. So at this point, we want to be able to run a failover or disaster recovery for one VM that is running under ESXi 1, and that VM is Web3. So we'll be able to run a failover using VMotion. So you migrate it from one ESXi host to yet another ESXi host. This is a common task in many data centers where you have to run migration or you have to run maintenance. You want to move your running VMs in real time, no downtimes. So storage is there, uh, the compute is there, but is the network capable? Okay. So with big switch networks, we're able to show and demonstrate this. That you can see the virtual machine has actually moved over to um, the other ESXi host. And we want to see if we're able to replicate the same and be aware of this within our network. So as we refresh, we're able to see that we have learned the change, that that particular VM is no longer connecting uh, on that particular ESXi host. It's now running on ESXi host number 2, and it is still up and it is still live. So we'll drill down into the analytics that are available within Big Switch, and there's a whole listing of what is actually available here. And what is of interest to us is what information is actually being picked off from the vCenter environment. So we can be able to see, quite a number of dashboards that are available, and all these are actually custom. So we have quite a number of info in there. So we can be able to see the VMotion specific information, how it was started, completed, and the details that were captured and updated within Big Cloud Fabric. So this is information that is changing within vCenter, but because of the plugin, we're able to capture this information within our network portion. So I mean, this is intent-based, software-driven visibility. We can even further drill down to vMotion specific information, to kind of isolate and have that proper visibility and analytics. And again, we can be able to capture the same information, in a more concise way here. So, I mean, there's quite a number of options, as you can see, in terms of what is available. And I think it is quite clear. Thank you.